Hey guys, it's Thursday. Shoot, it's Friday, 23rd. Time's getting away from me. Cold front come in last night. It's dropped about 25 degrees since I got up this morning. Been dragging a bit, just getting down here to get started. But UPS dropped off our new radiator. It's packaged well. It looks pretty decent for what I spent. I'd say it's probably fair. I was impressed with how well it held up through shipping. So today I'm gonna get a little more bracing done. We'll probably try to mock this radiator up. My plan is to put it across behind the seats here, and then I'm gonna rig up 3 separate relays. I've got a little 3-way switch panel so we can control the fans one at a time. Like I said, I'm probably gonna be using this for as much heat in the cab as I am for radiator. So it does have the tranny cooler built in. I bought line. I'm just gonna route it back. I normally don't do combination coolers, but this time for packaging, I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. So we'll see if that's a mistake or not. Anyway, thanks for checking it out. We'll get some more video put together here. Talk to you in a bit. Alright guys, this is the radiator here. It's somewhat where it's going to be. I'll take and put some holes in this plate and drop them pegs through and put some rubber bushings underneath them, and then I'll run a strap across the top to catch the bolt holes. Should be able to get it mounted in pretty good. It's got some decent tabs up here for mounting. It doesn't look bad. I guess I'm going to have to run to a salvage yard and steal some XJ transmission cooler lines and cut the ends off, because it is not NPT as I thought it was reading the description. So that's probably my fault, something I missed. But anyway, I don't think it's going to block visibility or anything. I'll get it mounted, and then wintertime we'll have it blow heat through the radiator. Summertime we'll flip the positive and negatives and have it vent out the back. So I think it should work dual purpose. Definitely looks big enough for what we're doing with it. I don't think we're gonna have any overheating issues. Not from the coolant system anyway. Blow-ahead gasket or something, that's another story. But for now, I think it's gonna work. Thank you. So here we are, guys. We're bracing this rear fender in. And how do you tie in the double flare? Well, I think that's gonna work. Should support it off good. I'll get some of that corrosion out of that weld there. I think I'll do a cross brace off of this joint here, and then I think this side rear fender is going to be pretty good, and we'll do a brace off in here as well. Alright guys, so back here we got this braced in. It'll be an aluminum panel here and then one twisted down into here. I got some flat stock we'll tack in place, and I'll do nut certs through it. We'll do the aluminum inserts. Pretty happy with the angle we hit here. Pretty happy with how that come out. I think this is going to look alright down here. We'll probably stop the panel right about down there. We won't go all the way to the bottom. But anyway, we'll get the panel laid in. Now up here though, this angle is too tight. And so that's a nice little section, but this is just too long and twisted. So I think we're going to come off of here and come back over to this mark. And as you can see here, this was the mid part of the bar. This is what we were shooting for. The angle was just too tight. It didn't look right. So I think when we come off here and come back, I think that's going to be just about what we want. And then we'll just have a skinny panel with a tab down here to bolt it in, and that'll tie it up. So we'll have 3 panels on the front, downs on the fenders, and only 2 on the rear. But by the size of the area we're working with, I think that's going to work out all right. So it's probably more effort than it's worth. I doubt there's any real structural gain to doing this extra bar, but aesthetically, I think it's needed. So we're going to get that thrown in there, and then probably use some really heavy paint. This 1 inch is giving me a little trouble getting in place. So anyway, thank you. Good evening, guys. It's Monday the 26th. Didn't get a lot done over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Had quite a bit going on. Anyway, ran in town today, picked up some stuff. Actually, I ended up buying a big gantry, the adjustable height one from Harbor Freight. I need it for an upcoming project. We had 20% off today, so we went and bought that. One thing you probably ought to know if you're going to buy one, you probably need a gantry to unload your gantry. It was pretty fun, and the driveway was icy, so anyway, we unloaded it in the house garage until this thaws. But I was able to find the fittings I need for the radiator. I think I have everything for the transmission cooler now. I've been looking for some fittings for a few days, and I think I have a gas filler neck solution. So anyway, I modified this up vent, cut the vent off, capped it. We're going to run a secondary vent line. But this right here is a filler neck out of I believe a 2nd gen Dodge truck. And I had bought the chassis a while back thinking I was going to do something with it. And I ended up hauling the axles down to Arkansas and traded the chassis out up here for some work I had done. So anyway, I'm going to make use of that. Tonight I plan to get the rest of that tubing I fitted up the other day welded in, and start matching up the other side. So probably won't be a whole lot of video because we're not doing anything new. We're just going to make the 2 sides match. Anyway, I'll cut in every now and then if something new comes up. But anyway, hope y'all had a good Christmas, and talk to you later. Hey guys, so it's probably unnecessary, but it's bothering me. I like symmetrical geometry, whatnot. I'm big on I'm just big on making things look right. Probably doesn't need it, but I went ahead and added another piece here just to use that node from that original front end and kind of tie everything together. And I think that's going to give me a good point to brace off the front end and come up to that point down to the bumper. And well, you gotta admit it doesn't look bad. Looks pretty beefed up compared to what it was. So this is the last piece of tube to add to the passenger side, and this is where we started. So this is the driver's side over here. Like I said, I don't know, I like the grid look. It's all going to be covered. I know it doesn't matter, but it's there. I got plenty of points to mount the headlights, and I can put a tab anywhere I want now. Anyway, just these are the things that make it overthunk junk, and not just junk in general. But this is what we're looking at, And look, I actually cleaned the shop floor today. So, making progress one way or another. Anyway, guys, hope you got some good stuff yesterday. And let's see what you're building. Talk to you later. Hey guys, it's been a pretty productive evening. I got all that tube burning. Sent like about 40,000 messages to buddies of mine. Tell you what, shop time, if it's not therapy time for you, you're doing it wrong, bud. This is an escape from reality. It's a place to go to catch up with old buddies and make new ones. So, I've got all that burn in, as you can see here. Joke it's kind of a waffle print at this point, but we still have this side to go. So the next video is going to be a little bit different. I've been informed by some buddies of mine that there may be some merit in my technique. I don't really know how to use a tubing notcher too well. I'll be the first to admit it. I learned using, I built this entire rig over here using a plasma cutter and a flap wheel. So I've moved up in the world. I'm now using a bandsaw and a flap wheel. And so the next video I release, it's going to be more about technique. The technique I use. I'm not saying it's the right technique. I'm not saying it's the only technique. I'm just saying it's one I learned to use. So we're going to do more in depth, more in detail on the notching and using rough estimates in a bandsaw and a flap wheel to cope the tube to fit the notch you're looking for. So anyway, if you're above that skill set, just carry on. And if you think it might be entertaining, it might be, feel free to watch. But that's where we're headed. I just want people to know that you can make anything your own, and you can do it on any budget. I've got way more tools than I used to have. I've got way more tools than I had 2 years ago. And it's just learning to work with what you got. So anyway, guys, have a good evening. I really enjoy putting this stuff out there, and I hope you enjoy watching it. And like I said, feel free to leave some comments. Tell me what I'm messing up on. Tell me what I need to do better on. If you want to critique my welds, you can probably go ahead and save your breath. I know they're not where they need to be. I just bought a new welder. Everything's a little bit different. So anyway, I'm learning. Hopefully we're all learning together a little bit. But anyway, like I said, this isn't, if you're looking for a video series to tell you how to do everything by the book and have it come out perfect, you probably need to carry on. But if you want to build a rig in your garage and you want to make it your own, hang out. Like and subscribe. Let's see where this heads up. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.